Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us. We are here, we are live, and it is another So Rare Game Week deadline stream. We are here, guys. We've got MLS, we've got a lot of stuff across European international football with the youth tournament. We've got Gold Cup. Everything and anything is on. Join me as ever for the Game Week deadline stream. It's my co-pilot. It's Harry Trades. Harry, my man, good to see you. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you, mate. Yeah, thank you for joining. Well, thank you for allowing me to join you. Early morning for me, so yeah, my words might be muddled up a little bit. So apologies in advance for that. But yeah, no, I'm buzzing for another game week, and yeah, it's been a fun midweek. But yeah, we look forward to this weekend.
You're in that breakfast radio lifestyle, Harry. That's what it is, you know, getting up super early to do the...
I'm like Charlemagne the God.
Someone clip that. And then joined us last week, International Special. He's back with a bang, back with a vengeance. It is Mr. International. No, it's not Pitbull. It's YehonatanGarji. Yehonatan, good to see you, my man. Thanks for coming back.
Hi, guys. Thanks for inviting me. I'm really happy to be here tonight.
Good to see you again, buddy. And I was thinking about you when me and Harry, was it last night or was it the day before? Israel against Germany, by the way. What a game it was. And, you know, bit of a bittersweet result, I suppose, in the end. But I was thinking about you the other night. And the Euro Under21s, we've had the first raft of matches. And we were all quite excited coming into it, you know. But I think Israel were definitely one of the teams that caught my eye across the first match day. You must have been happy with them.
Yeah, very happy. Yeah. I expected nothing out of the game. I talked to Sorare Bundesliga on Twitter before the match, and I say to him, I expect them to score like 4 to 5 goals against us because our manager is really bad. And then they had a penalty in the first minute, and Daniel Perez is the hero. He saved 2 pens, and Gloch to Turgeman with that goal. Like, super happy with that result, and maybe we can make it out of the group. Who knows?
Yeah, big time. What about you, Harry boy, from across match day one? Was there any standouts or anything like that?
I mean, I caught a bit of the France game yesterday against Italy. I thought Italy were quite unlucky, actually. I don't know if you've seen it, but Italy had a ball cleared off the line that was actually over the line. Luke Haber got a clearance off the line for it, but no VAR, obviously, in this competition, which is quite disappointing, I think, because, yeah, apparently they should have had a couple of penalties, Italy. Apparently I didn't watch the whole game. Like I said, I watched the end of it. Apparently they got robbed. But, yeah, watched England yesterday. They were okay. You know, they kind of did what we thought they would do. The Belgium-Netherlands game was interesting. Obviously, a load of Sorare licensed cards on show. And, yeah, it was obviously a 0-0, but just a lot of quality on show. Really impressed with Quinton Timber in that game as the Netherlands captain. But Spain, I didn't watch that game, but that seemed to be the most polarizing in terms of SO5 scores. Obviously, they played probably the weakest team in Romania, but you know, some of those SO5 scores were big. Just AA wise, I think Rodri for Spain had a 40 odd AA. I think Sergio Gomez 2 decisives. Yeah, they were kind of the standouts for me in terms of scores. But yeah, some lopsided fixtures this weekend. You've got your Belgium, even though Georgia did win and stuff, but you've got a Belgium playing Georgia, Spain playing Croatia, not probably as good as we thought they might be. England, Israel. I know Israel gave a really good account of themselves, but you'd like to think England would go on and win that, but you just never know with these under-21 competitions. It's so hard to predict.
Yeah, and I think Tatos is giving you your kudos and probably your highlight of the week, Harry boy, is the first person shooter Sorare scoring that we got from Harry boy's 100 and what was it, 180 points you got or something like that? 180.
I think it was 126 if it was allowed, but unfortunately, the Sorare matrix doesn't go to that. But no, I appreciate that, Tatos. That means a lot to me. You saying that, man, really does mean a lot.
If you haven't caught it yet, of course, and you don't know what we're talking about, Harry boy, we were all playing, me and Harry boy were playing at Anfield, and Harry had the GoPro on, and you know he's made a brilliant video of scoring on SO5 and his match experience, as it were. So if you haven't caught it, you're definitely missing out. Make sure to check it out. But there's plenty of fist bumps, plenty of Sorare scouts and managers joining us from all over the world, getting stuck in. And this midweek, I was mad excited for the under-21s coming in. I thought I had some good options, and I might have had a good team. Unfortunately, it all just, fell out the bottom, as it were. The Dars fell out of it, as we say in Glasgow. But this weekend it all starts again. We're all getting our hopes up and building our team, and then deleting it and then building it again across Sorare data, and lots of different stuff. So any Sorare scouts and managers from around the world that are joining us on YouTube or Twitter in particular, the patron saint of FC Barcelona, the man that is Sorare Monkey, has gifted us again some cards to give away today. So be sure to find SR Monkey on Twitter, Discord, anywhere you want to find them. Sorare, give him a follow. But the stream today is live on YouTube and on Twitter. So any interactions with the post itself and in the live stream, we'll be giving away those 2 cards later in the stream. So let me go and just pull the page up so I can show you. But Monkey has been gifted us 2 cards, very stellar items, I must say, both boys in red. But we've got, first of all, a Christian Eriksen, which is a very handy card, especially when international football's running. Obviously, that's not really run for too much longer, but also Man United next year could be pretty handy. And Pablo Ruiz at RSL, who is a very formidable scorer, let's say. So very handy cards to be given away. So I'll say that again. We'll give one of them away for interacting, retweets, likes, comments on the Twitter broadcast. So if you're watching this on Twitter, there's hundreds of you tuning in on Twitter. Getting involved directly in the little broadcast. We'll pick a winner and give you a card later in the stream. And the YouTube live chat will throw you a question or some sort of interaction. We'll get stuck in there and we'll give away a card before the end of the stream to you guys there. When you are here at any point in the stream, if you do laugh, you learn, you like something or whatever, please do like the stream, subscribe, follow me and the guys everywhere. I'll update the description so you can find us all here, there, and everywhere. And otherwise, guys, it's all about checking on the predicted 11s, the matchup tabs, the prize pools. Where should we be playing? Who should we be playing? And who should we be trying to maybe avoid, depending on the way the game weeks are built out. There's some really interesting little details going around here with the Gold Cup being on, and what that means as well for MLS, because all the MLS players leave to go play in Gold Cup, and there's lots of different implications and ramifications of all that good stuff. So even though there's no European football, we're kind of used to that now. It doesn't mean the SO5 arena is any quieter. If anything, it's probably even busier with problems and decision making, isn't it, guys?
Yeah. It's a weird game week. Obviously, you got the Gold Cup boys, and a lot of the under-20, all the under-21 games won't show up on the game center, just for anyone's FYI. So the odds are not, they're just not there basically for them to be counted in that matchups tab. So we'll obviously have to go through the odds on the Play Sharper and kind of fizzle that into, because we obviously always use the Game Week Center matchups tabs, but for most matchups. But yeah, weird game week, but it should still be a good one.
Yeah,
that question you had. Oh, sorry. On you go, Yehonatan. Sorry.
So yeah, Seth, go on. Yeah, I think he does start. Let me just say that. Yeah.
And some of the players also don't appear on the Sorare site. Like when you pick your teams, Trubin, I know, you need to flick the no match tab, and then you can find him. So it is really hard to build teams for the under-21. But yeah, we will see what we can do.
Yeah,
for sure. And I was bemoaning. I think it was to you, Harry. I was like, "Oh, Sean Johnson away at Gold Cup, having tennis isn't actually. I'm not really feeling the benefit of that." And it wasn't until the next day I was like, "Where the hell is Trubin? Why have I not got him in a team somewhere?" So yeah, that no game thing. Please watch out for that, guys, and all your teams double check, quadruple check, because particularly those guys in the youth tournaments, maybe some international fixtures. There's always a chance there's a wee guy you're missing. So quadruple check before the deadline.
It's from the guys who played first team international football last week, and they've gone straight into the 21s this week. Opta hasn't got time to basically change that, i.e. Mamadashvili, I imagine, is going to play for the 21s, and then obviously Trubin. I don't know, but that's kind of the only two examples I can think of.
Yeah, Gloch too.
And Gloch, yeah, good point. Nice point. Yeah, so Opta, need to get their arse in gear, basically, is what we're getting at.
I've got a comment in here as well from Twitch. So again, thanks to everyone that's following us on Twitch. Don't forget to like and follow and whatever you do on Twitch, all that good stuff, of course. And he's asking, what's the Hampden? And that's Scottish patter for what's the Hampden roar? What's the score? What's going on? And nice, I think for me, the Hampden is all about Euro Under-21 still. I've got a good amount of MLS running. I don't think I really capitalised on my senior international cards. I didn't really use them well at all over the last week or two. So it is it's still keeping going on that front for me, really. Lots of great comments coming in from lots of you guys. Fist bumps to everyone. I hope you are all well as well. Thanks a lot for joining us. And an MLS kind of 2-game thing kind of showing up has been a wee bit of a pain in the bum with some guys that you maybe know are away on international duty still. And, it's been a few kind of interesting creases in the SO5 arena for sure. Yeah, there's a bunch of you joined us, guys. Thanks to everyone who is. Like I said earlier, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and retweet, and all that good stuff. And I think probably the best place for us to kick off is with the matchups tab, Harry boy. Let's see the limited, it is limited this week, info we can garner from this.
So it's limited, and then it's even more limited because we don't have the under-21s in there. So we'll have to take that into consideration and kind of do our own little we'll have to do our own matchups tab for the 21s, basically, Quinny.
Yeah.
On Play Sharper. But yeah, top of the list. I mean, this is probably the first time all season, even though they're midway through their season, that I've been able to say this, but an MLS team is at the top. That's not happened since we started ever, basically. And it's Philly. And it kind of makes sense. Like, this is probably the most... I mean, Philly haven't been as Philly as they normally are, like maybe like last season, but they're still, a formidable force at home. Cincy are probably the other unbelievable team at home we've seen in the MLS in terms of their home record. But at home to Inter Miami, I mean, they're still Messi-less as we speak. I don't know if it gets much better, to be honest, in terms of a home team playing at home against probably the weakest team away. And as we can see, the Sorare Data Matchups tab, it enjoys it as well. I don't know what we've got for the starting 11. I don't know if they've got any creases in terms of they played midweek. So there is going to be situations on this weekend that, we're going to see random rotations because teams played Wednesdays and, it just kind of happens. But Philly stacks could be formidable this week in America and obviously in gas. Do you want to skip your Brazilians and are we okay?
Yeah, I think we can skip the ones where we've not got any cards for or anything. I'll go. Sorry, I've just realised I'll go and get the team here for.
Yeah, no worries.
For Philly up and going for us. Sorry, I'm trying to spin a few plates. But
no worries.
The thing about Philly, obviously, Miami's going to be everyone's new favourite, third team or whatever. So it's funny seeing them up as still the whipping boys, considering they've got Messi, Busquets, and Jordi Alba inbound. But yeah, it's definitely not the same team when they've got Harvey Neville in it right back at the moment, And some of these other guys, but Philly have been solid as a rock for the last 3 or 4 seasons, and looking at that team, it's pretty full strength looking, isn't it?
Pretty solid, I think. Yeah. What's happened to? So Blake's away with Jamaica, I guess, is he?
Yeah, and the Edlin is away with the USA for Miami.
Yeah, that doesn't help. Miami's not that he's incredible, but he is their captain, I believe. So, it's a young Miami team going away from home to one of the better teams at home, if that makes sense. So I struggle to see anything other than a bit of a romp in here for Philly. So definitely watch out for those stacks. Then, I mean, next up is probably LA. To be fair, at home to Vancouver. Was it Colorado Vancouver that was that was postponed midweek? It was definitely Colorado somebody. Yeah,
it's definitely Vancouver.
Yeah, you know that far too well. I mean, the fact that they didn't play midweek, is that a good thing? Potentially, LA did play. But does that really matter away to LAFC? Probably not, to be completely honest. But to be honest, Vancouver aren't bad. They've got some decent players. Does that mean they can go and get a result against LA? No. But they could definitely go score a goal or two. But I think it's going to be a high-scoring game for me. Pretty settled team for LA, to be honest. Your usual suspects, Palacios, Buanga, Vela, Poku, Cifuentes, very settled team. Chiellini's in there as well. A very similar fixture, I would say. Well, not as similar, but very similar to the Philly at home fixture against Miami. But I'd argue that Vancouver are a way better outfit than Miami. So maybe we see an upset, but I highly doubt it.
Yeah. I think clean sheets are probably not going to be happening in a game like this, eh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Good point by Mickey. Whitecaps play on turf at home. So going away to LA, not only you're going away to LA, travel-wise as well, you're also not playing on 4G. So, that is something you have to take into consideration. I watched Portland play against Chicago midweek, and that was on turf, on 4G or whatever. So, yeah, it does play into it for sure. The game's different on 4G than it is on grass. So, yeah, it's definitely interesting.
Yeah, a lot of different opinions on the state of LA at the moment and what this game means for them. So it'll be interesting to see how it pans out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, to be fair, Parrot's saying LA haven't been as dominant. They haven't been that good recently, if we're being honest. But they've got so much quality that like they can kind of overturn that in a game type of thing. Like I don't think it would take them that long to get back into their stride. And at home against Vancouver, who didn't play midweek, who normally play on turf, it's a bit like it's a little bit written for me that this is like a 2-1 maybe 3-1 LA. If I had to put my money where my mouth is. But yeah, that's it for MLS for now. We could jump over to Ulsan at home, or do we want to not? Daegu's involved, so it's Cecilia or Kashinya, as simply Alex refers to us.
It is probably the hardest game of the season for Cecilia against Ulsan.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Top of the league. I mean, yeah, we're at Daegu, 6th in the league right now. Odds are very in favor of Ulsan. 2.09 XG as well is pretty hefty. Not that really matters for Cecilia himself, but as Daegu as an outfit, obviously that will conceding those goals. But yeah, I mean, I used to have a Seo Young Woo, so I used to keep up with Ulsan a lot more. I don't anymore, but it still seems like they're flying. So not much has changed, I guess. Yeah, again, watch out for those potential Ulsan defensive stacks. I reckon that could be the play, maybe obviously in Asia, but also in the gases.
Yeah, for sure. And this is a fixture that's been pointed out to me before we came onto the stream. Is like a big fixture in Korea, so
yeah,
definitely takes a few dominant players out of the equation potentially, because Ulsan probably not going to get a clean sheet out of that, and it's not going to be a romping, you would imagine, for either team.
100%, mate. Yeah, it's an interesting one. But then we are going back to the MLS with the Revs at home to Toronto. Toronto are a team that I follow quite closely now that Mabika's managed to get himself into that side and scores amazingly well. They lost 3-0 midweek. He still scored like a 26-27 AA for me. And they were away to, who did they lose to? They lost to someone decent, Cincinnati. So Cincy were at home, they beat them 3-0, which was quite expected. It is a weakened Toronto team in the sense that obviously no Sean Johnson, Matt Hedges is out injured. Richie Laraya, is that his name? Laraya. He's gone away with Canada. So there is definitely absentees. Obviously, they still have Insigne, Bernardeschi, a couple of the big guns are still there. But defensively, they're a little bit shaken up, I guess. But yeah, it's hard to see anything other than a Revs win. But that doesn't necessarily mean that some of these players can't score well. Insigne, Bernardeschi, there's still decisives to be had. Petrovic apparently is back from Serbia international duty. So, that obviously strengthens their chances of probably a clean sheet and whatnot. But again, we say it every week, Quinny, and it's just probably going to be the Carlos Heel show again, isn't it? Like, water's just still quite wet in that sense. And I don't know. There's not really much else to say, I don't think, for this one. I still will be playing my Mabika, though. I still trust in him. But yeah, no, it is a very good fixture for the Revs, for sure.
Fair enough.
And then Kansas. Did they play midweek, or am I being stupid again? Yeah, they did. They did play midweek. They did play midweek. I saw Tommy had a really good score again. I feel like I say every stream when I mention Kansas City, but he's such a baller. Like, he's actually a joke. Pulido's back and scoring serious goals.
Yeah, he scored like 6 goals in the last 3 games, something like that.
Yeah, he's on fire. Shallow's been decent as well. Russell's obviously on his way back, I guess, at 45%. So watch out for that. I guess it's a good thing that he's just in contention to be back or whatever. But don't write off this Chicago team. I watched them go away to Portland midweek and get a result. I watched the whole game, and they were good. Like, I don't often say that Chicago play good football, right? But they were absolutely unbelievable. I'm not just saying it. They were incredible. Beat Portland 2-1. Don't get me wrong, they got lucky. It was a last-minute goal from Kai Kamara. But they played really well. That doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to go away to Kansas, because Kansas, I think, are a better outfit than Portland, especially at home. So yeah, there's definitely going to be Kansas City stacks out and about, especially your Pulido, Shaloi, maybe forward stacks, Tommy in the mid. I don't know if they've got much in defense in terms of what you can stack. Fontas maybe, but McIntosh is obviously was the third keeper at some point, and now he's the first keeper. So read into that what you will, but I think it's a good fixture for their forward line. I do worry for Brady. I'm not prioritizing him this week, but regardless, I still think Chicago will give a decent account of themselves. But don't go stacking Chicago cards is probably the best thing to end that with, just in case.
Got an interesting one from Parrot Press on this as well. He's got the Kansas stack, and he's talking about not sure if you should go Russell over Buanga or ditch Espinoza.
Nah, you can't drop Buanga for Russell. I'm sorry. I know Quinny's not going to be happy with that, but
Buanga's solid. It's hard to
Buanga's been good, yeah. To be fair, over the last couple of games, he's got a bit suspect. Like he hasn't been as he was. Like he's not banging as good as he was, but that doesn't mean that can't turn around. I have a Tommy. I'm not sure if I should play. I would go Tommy, Buanga. I would either go Buanga, Tommy, or Buanga and Espinoza, but I don't know who San Jose are playing yet. So let me get to that when it happens. Josh says Buanga looks shocking. ATM needs a break. That could be an issue for him. Obviously, went away with his national team, hasn't missed a game for a while. So, interesting one nonetheless.
It's probably another one to pick up. That's a good bit of fun. Talk about buying cards.
I mean, this is just my gut instinct. I can't see how holding off is gonna lower the prices leading up to the European season. That just doesn't make sense to me personally. I think it's one of them where, if you don't get in now, it probably just continues to rise. I don't know how much it's going to rise. No one can really foresee that. But I can't see how closer to the league starting, it dropping, if that makes sense, price-wise. I just can't see that. Let me know what you guys think. But that's kind of where my brain is.
Yeah, at least in limited prices, they have been rising consistently in the last 2 to 3 weeks. Every player I want to buy, it can be 2x at the moment or 1.5x, but I would buy now. Its prices are only going to rise, and Sorare are going to do advertising and stuff like that will only make price go higher.
One thing I've noticed, the same things as you guys, but it feels like auction volume has went down a little bit. So I was looking at some European-based guys, and they're getting their auction cycle feels like fortnightly rather than weekly for some of the ones I've looked at anyway. And every time, for the time we've all been playing Sorare, you notice when the auction cycle goes down, the power goes into the secondary market, and so that's why you can see the prices change so much. But that changes as soon as an auction comes around. So whoever it is you're targeting, because this is quite a wide, broad question, I would be looking at we're trying to suss out their auction schedule and see, right, okay, I just missed one yesterday, right, well, I'm waiting 11 days, right, well, I'm pretty screwed because in 11 days, or whatever, so I would try and also factor that into your puzzle solving of all of this, because if you can get an auction, you'll probably beat the secondary market on price, but sometimes you just don't think.
I don't think buying from auctions now is a good idea unless you want to build a collection, because with collection bonuses, auctions go higher than the average price. People are willing to pay more because of the 20 points to the collection.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I think that that will still be below what people list their cards for. I'm looking across. I can't even think of who it is that springs to my mind. But there's a guy. Who was it? We were talking about them maybe on a stream or something. But there were Who was it, man? It might have been. I think it was Phil Foden. It was 0.2 for ages, and now he's 0.5. And when you look at it, it's just really because the auctions have went away, and everyone just lists them for 0.5. But the last auction still went for about 0.2ish. It has been up, again, there has been a change. You're right, Garji, because of that extra 20 points you're buying. But where the secondary market sits, a lot of these cards, it's just getting down from there. Is the first priority. It's coming down from there. And I think the auction's your best route to that. And then when a fresh auction price locks in, then you've got some fresh data to go and negotiate with. Last auction went for this versus where the hell you're listing it, pal. Kind of thing. So yeah, I'm with you on that.
Chris asked a good question just about under 21 rotations in the tourneys, and he's asking if Sergio Gomez is going to start. I mean, I don't think we'll see as much rotations for this second game because a lot of the teams that have won the first game will want to win the second game to then rotate in the third game, right? To get the 6 points in. So I don't think we'll see Spain rotate that much. I think they will now, like here and there. I don't think someone like Sergio Gomez, who's like a big part of their attacking threat, rotates out personally. But that's just my opinion. But overall, we will see rotations, but only in situations where, like, maybe, you know, a team hasn't performed, like maybe Portugal. We're definitely going to see rotations there because they didn't get the result that they wanted in that first game. And yeah, that's kind of how I foresee it. The one with England, like, they have so much quality, they could just rotate and it not change. That's an issue for us Sorare managers. Belgium looked pretty settled from the second half of their first game. The Netherlands seems pretty settled, barring a few injuries. I think Wrench came off injured and whatever, but he still probably started from what I've seen. So yeah, it's an interesting one. But yeah, to summarize, I don't think we'll see that many rotations in the second games as much as we will in the third games of the groups.
Yeah, I agree with you, Ari. And if you check the World Cup that we just had, and like not the under 20, the regular World Cup, teams regularly rotated in the third match. Like I remember Spain had a massive rotation in the third game because they just like they had they had qualified and they did not need a win. And managers do like to give players who made a travel and come from the holidays and stuff like that. They like to give them this third game. So I don't expect us to see rotations this week, but in the midweek it will be a bloodbath.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a wee bit off kilter for some of the teams. Like I was saying this, it might have been in, before we came on, but like I think Spain playing Romania in the first game, I think that's the weakest game they're going to play. And I think if they're expecting to play 3 matches in 7 days, you know, you probably play your rotated team against Romania versus Ukraine and Croatia. So I think maybe Spain are maybe at the other end of that. And when we look at the matches for this week as well, like you would have Belgium might have thought they could do that with Georgia, but that's not going to be happening anymore now that Georgia have beat Portugal. But maybe Portugal did think that going into the Georgia game. Maybe Portugal actually make a bit of changes to play Holland, perhaps.
Definitely will. Definitely. Just because they didn't win the game, like they have to rotate type of thing.
Yep.
I would say.
And I wouldn't rule out for France either against Norway, who lost to Switzerland, you know.
Well, Bade got a red card, so a new centre-half will come in. Simakan will probably come in there. Cherki might have a chance of starting. I'm an owner. I still am not that confident, and I'm not really playing him anywhere important in that sense, but he could. He did do well when he came on. Same for England, like Emile Smith-Rowe came on and got a goal or whatever. So I don't know. There is situations where you have to sort of deal with them. But for the most part, I think we'll see similar XIs in this second game. Personally, And then what does Joe say? Out of curiosity, was the special weekly enough to interest any of you? I know only Harry is in the USATM. Yeah, so I mean, we were going to speak about that. I know that we're still in the matchups, but the whole MLS, the MLS thing. No, you know what? I haven't really. I'll be honest. I haven't really looked at it too much. I saw it on the lobby, but I didn't see what the requirements were. So what am I? So what is it? The MLS All-Star Special Weekly. Assemble your best team. 5 cards from the MLS for the chance to win. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't. I'm home by the time the MLS All-Star game's on, so it's not going to really interest me in that sense. But it's still a decent promotion.
Yeah,
but yeah. Should we go back to the old Gameweek Centre?
Yeah, if you want. I just thought it'd be a nice wee chance to maybe splinter into looking at these games because I think now, like, where are we in the matchups tab? Like, because we got a few MLS clubs, and then it was starting to drip away into like a lot of the South American stuff that we don't have coverage for. And then down here, like, we can go through predicted 11s of them, but I don't think these are powerful matchups. Like,
no, they're not. They're just there because there's nothing else there, effectively.
Yeah. So what do you think? Have we gone over the Under21 fixtures? What we think are good ones and bad ones, and all that kind of stuff?
Do it by Play Sharper, so we can get both up, and they give us the odds on the right. And, you know what I'm saying, because Play Sharper has actually all the fixtures nicely illustrated for us.
Let's do it. Portugal, Holland,
Netherlands. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Portugal are going to need a result here if they want to progress. Whether that happens or not, I don't know. Neto played the first game, looks to be nailed for the second. João Neves, I don't think he played the first one. Not that it matters because he's not licensed, but they have changed their team somewhat. Silva didn't play the last game, and Cohen Chow came off the bench. So there's definitely rotations there. But I still fancy the Netherlands to do a job on them, to be fair. They look too strong, I think, just in terms of personnel. Odds, the bookies can't really, split them, which is kind of fair, I think. But I still think, judging from just watching the games, I do feel like the Netherlands have the upper hand here, just as a team, as a collective. Such a strong defense and goalkeeper, and a wicked midfield three that can create things. The front three are a little bit suspect. Ekel and Camp did okay. I think they're probably missing another winger there. Mynans came on and did okay, but again, he's not actually a winger. So they've only got Somerville, I'd say, who's an out-and-out winger there. But very similar, I think it is. They have Tavshan who can come on and change a game as well. So very similar XI. I think it's the exact same, to be honest. I don't think there's any changes.
Yeah, it is the exact same.
Yeah, so I think Netherlands are going to win this one personally, but it will be tight.
Yeah, and Verbruggen looks amazing. Like, he turned into Prime Neuer in that game.
100%.
Yeah, he's putting on some good saves, wasn't he? The defence looked solid. The midfield looked, I caught the second half of that game. You were telling me, Harry, the first half Holland weren't at it. But second half, they did look like a proper Dutch outfit. Good on the ball, went forward when they decided to. And, they were definitely, they made use of their bench as well. All the subs seemed pretty effective when they came on. And yeah, fair enough, man. I can see it because Portugal looked pretty limp. Georgia let them have the ball and they couldn't do much with it. Also, they've got a centre half that's been sent off and suspended for this game, so they'll be down him. But he was at fault for everything in that game. He was he should have 2 error-led goals along with his red card. So I don't know who this guy is that's coming in. I don't think the goalkeeper was particularly good either, the Bailly guy or whoever it was. So maybe they changed the keeper. I wouldn't rule it out because the keeper was honking. But yeah, I think the Dutch will have too much.
Yeah, it seems that way, but you just never know with these tournaments. But yeah, in the same group, we have the Belgium-Georgia game, which, obviously Georgia gave a great account of themselves against Portugal, and fair play to them, but they're playing against, they are playing against an experienced Belgium team who took a while to get going, I thought, in that Netherlands game. Second half, they looked a lot better. Surprised Patrice is down as 80% here. I thought they would have gone with Sekwe, or however you pronounce it, because he looked really good when he came on. That don't make sense. So 1-7. Well, yeah, that don't make sense. Because there's nowhere else he's going to play. He's a right wing back.
Misclick.
Yeah. So I don't know. Yeah, look out for that Patrice thing. I don't know how that is. But defensively, they look good. Disciple look really good as well. Vrancic is coming in from the first team. Yeah, for Raskin. Yorbe started, but Balakiwisha looks like he's gotten the nod this game. He looked decent when he came on, and then CDK Openda. It's a good front three, man. Like, really dangerous. Like, I know Georgia did well and whatever, but I really don't see anything other than a Belgium win here. Strong midfield. And obviously Van der Voort, our boy, in goals with a really decent back four in front of him. So, again, I just can't see anything than a Belgium win. But these 21 games, man, it doesn't matter. Sometimes 11 men behind the ball. Doesn't matter who you are. It's hard to break down sometimes on occasions. But it is a good Belgium team.
How many decisives will Connie de Winter get in this game?
I think he's going to beat his 2 clearances off the line and get 3 this week. Big Connie.
Could be on it, couldn't he? If he pulls in our massive score, man, will he be the Schlotterbeck of this tournament?
Potentially. It's a good start. It can't get any better from a scoring perspective. But odds favour Belgium, and I can kind of see that. Spain game next, obviously playing Croatia. Again, the odds are massively stacked in Spain's favour, which is fair enough after their first performance against Romania. Croatia didn't do what they probably set out to do. Did they lose to Ukraine, right? Wasn't it 2-1?
Yeah, 2-0, I think.
Yeah. So, again, I know there's lots of 70s and 50s here and 60s, which is interesting. Maybe they do take Croatia quite lightly and rotate in areas, but I don't know. I just don't see it as much as as much as we probably want to. But this Croatia team is good. Like, we know a lot of their cards from Sorare. Like, they're not a bad outfit. They obviously had a bad day at the office, but Baturina, Frigan, like, there's some good players, Bulat.
Look at that. Three. Stoichkov, Baturina, Cachavenda. That's like an SO5 dream, isn't it?
It is. It's some really good players here that can bang. So I don't know. I just can't see Spain taking them lightly. But that doesn't necessarily, like, Spain have the quality to, like, Vega didn't start, for example. Like, Vega walks into any team right now on form. So was that because he was away? Did he go away with the first team and win the Nations League? I don't know if he actually went with them. I can't remember if there was any issues with that. But regardless, he could easily walk into this side and obviously have an impact this game. But yeah, like Luke asked, is Vega going to start, man? It's hard to say. It's so hard to say. Like, I wouldn't put my life savings on it, but it just wouldn't surprise me either.
I think the Spain team changes more than this from game 1 to game 2, to be honest with you. And I'm not sure where the main change will come, because Sergio Gomez did play so well. But from what I've looked at Spain, the Miranda-Sergio Gomez combination, or the Manu Sanchez-Riquelme combination, seems to be a kind of either-or play. And I think if you look at Romania, you expect Spain to dominate and attack. That's probably why they've went for Miranda and Sergio Gomez for, going to be bombarding it. Whereas Croatia, you need to maybe respect them a bit more, like you're saying. So I wouldn't be surprised if maybe that's the side of the pitch maybe sees some changes. And as well, with the Ayator guy that played the first game, did not see that coming. Wouldn't be surprised if that was just for the first game and then it goes back to Guillermo Pacheco, because we all expected it to be Guillermo Pacheco. So I think that's probably where I would lie with the Spain team. Is I think Sergio Gomez and Miranda are actually dodgier, and I think the rest of the team's probably safe. Maybe Guillermo, but I think that's probably the way they'll go for this game, personally.
Yeah, and that's a good point by Mickey there. That Spain lineup hasn't been changed since Wednesday. If you have a look, it says last expert update, Wednesday, 10:47. So, read into that what you will.
I think if Vega's going to play, it's going to be over Sanche rather than Baena. I don't think that's the way it goes. I think it would be Vega for Sanche if he came on. I think he came on for Rodri on the wing, but that Rodri, like you say, was an AA monster. Don't see him getting dropped.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Vega does play, but I just can't work out where. Basically, is the issue, and for who.
Play it, open the game up against you.
Read into that game what you will. I'm just having a look here. Yeah, Rodri came off 81st. Sergio Gomez played the whole game. I don't know. John Pacheco did get yellow carded, which is interesting because if you get 2 yellows, maybe is there a suspension?
2 yellows, you are suspended to 1 game. I think it is restarted like in the final 4, something like that.
Okay. Interesting. So
you need to be careful with that. Yeah,
definitely. So yeah, I don't know. It's really tough to work out. Who's going to come in, who's going to not. But yeah, we'll see how it works out.
Aye, a lot of headaches for me.
Who have we got
so next game we've got in that group, then it'll be Czech Republic, Germany. No, it's Ukraine in that group. We just don't have Ukraine. No. So Ukraine will be playing Romania. So I think that's it's great. So if you know the Ukraine team, well done. You've got a great fixture ahead of you. Trooping to the moon. Czech Republic,
Germany. To be fair, so if Yehonatan wants to take the lead, because I know his boys watched.
You seen Czech Republic against England? They weren't rubbish.
I did watch it. No, they weren't. No, they weren't. They really weren't. They were good.
Yeah, so Germany, I think they will have about the same lineup. I was really impressed with the guy on the right side, Vagoman. I think he's called. He was really, really good. Yeah, he dominated the match. Luka Netz was great. Atebolo looked pretty poor, in my opinion. He could have had an error to goal, and he wasn't that good on the He didn't even jump to save the shot from Turgeman. But this Germany team is decent, but I have expected them to do much better. Mukuku was not good at all. The Israeli defense dealt with him really, really good. Schatz was not that good. But against Czech Republic, I expect them to win. If they don't win against Czech Republic, they're in big trouble.
They're out on there, basically. Well,
time.
they're not out because did they draw against Israel, right?
They draw. So
Okay.
they
Yeah,
need
so they
to
still have a
win
chance.
to have 4 points, and then they play against England. Basically, if Israel get a draw against England, we can go out of the group with 5 points if we can win against the Czech Republic.
Yeah,
Nice.
Czechs look decent though. Like Quinny said, they're no mugs. I know the odds are favouring Germany, and you kind of have to on personnel, but like we watched that England-Germany game yesterday, England-Czech Republic game yesterday, and they gave a good account of themselves. They could have easily scored a couple goals on another day. That Trafford was class in goals. As England's keeper, and obviously, Colwell and Howard Bellis, they've got some big defenders there to worry about. So, but honestly, don't be surprised if Germany struggle here, even though there might be some good SO5 scores, maybe from your nets, attempted assists and whatever. It's definitely an interesting matchup. Like on another day, Moukoko scores that penalty and they beat Israel 5-0, right? If we're being honest.
Yeah.
That could have easily happened. Yehonatan thought that was going to happen before the game.
If Daniel Perez didn't save that penalty, they would have won 4-5-0. We would have been battered.
Yeah.
But
him 10 men as well.
Yeah, we were down to 10 men like at the 45th minute.
Oh, yeah, good points. Yeah.
If we consider at the first minute from a penalty, and in my opinion, it wasn't even a pen. Like, if we had VAR in this tournament, which is just shambles that we don't have,
Apparently it's coming in from the quarterfinals.
Yeah.
That's crazy, isn't it? Why not have it for all of it? Like,
I think what they have said is the stadium quality is not good enough to have the VAR. But if the stadium quality is not good enough, why do you host that tournament in Georgia?
Like, yeah, good point.
You just had
that before.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you are taking football 7 years back, and this is the Under21 tournament. This is the way to get to the Olympics. So it's really bad that we don't have VAR. But if Moukoko scored that penalty, we would have been battered. But Daniel Perez came up big time.
Main change I see to this Germany team is Martel in over Keitel, and this Keitel guy looked good against Israel, and it looks like
he looked good, but he got a yellow card, I believe. And he was like very angry, so maybe they don't want him. Yeah, they don't want him to get a second yellow, probably.
Fair, good shout, mate, on that one. And then we get Switzerland, Italy. Now I've seen a little bit of Switzerland play Norway. I didn't see anything of Italy. Switzerland didn't look that distinct. Switzerland v Norway could have been any random football match. Like, it was just, there was nothing. A few of the players looked tidy. They seemed well organized, but nothing stood out as being incredibly amazing. The goal scorer scored a good goal for them. He took it well. He was big and strong. I forget his name now, to be honest with you, but yeah, he looked okay, but didn't look that amazing. And then I don't know if any of you watched Italy France or you seen Norway Switzerland, but
yeah, I watched the last half an hour of the Italy game. They looked really good. Even the subs that came on, they were like, obviously they were playing against France, who obviously probably the best outfit in terms of personnel in the tournament. And yeah, they lost, but Tonali did well, as you'd probably expect him to. I didn't see much of Ravella. As soon as I started watching, he came off the bench. Big Wilf came on the off the bench and did pretty well. Had a good chance. Someone had an unbelievable chance. I don't know. It was a left-footed guy up front. It might have been that Cambiaghi. I can't remember. There was one of the Italian forwards had a wicked chance, basically an open goal. But Chevalier was amazing. He did this triple save right towards the end. It was absolutely insane. It got him like 20 AA points. He was on like nothing. He went to like 57. It was insane. But yeah, they battled. But I think we're going to see Italy turn up here. To be honest, they've got some wicked players, and I just think it's like from watching that last half an hour yesterday, it seems like it's just a matter of time that they before they get into gear.
It's a really strong looking team.
They shouldn't have gone 2-1 down. That Ndogi, the left back, Ndoge, or whatever you say, he gave away. He got his pocket picked by Barcola, and he just slotted it to go 2-1 up, like 64th minute. Yeah, that's it. Canchieri, Ugo says, or however you pronounce it. He missed a really good chance. But yeah, no, I think Italy win this game comfortably, personally.
Anything from you, Jonathan?
No, I haven't watched either of the games. But I am really interested to see where you will play your Gnonto.
Yeah, big team this week. Again, when I seen Nonto, when I seen Vega come off the bench, and there was somebody else as well, quite high profile player in this tournament, came off the bench. I thought, first game, maybe they're just like bleeding them in. Maybe they've not arrived as long to the camp as some of the other guys. Which is why I do expect a wee bit of second game change from some teams,
Like Nonto was with the first team, I believe.
Yeah.
And like Davitashvili and Mamardashvili for Georgia were with the first team too. So they only came on as subs. Like Mamardashvili didn't play because he's a goalkeeper, but there will be some rotations. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm. And then we've got England as well.
Yeah, the England team. Obviously, we watched a game yesterday. All three of us, I guess. Madueke was probably the best player on the field in terms of what he was doing. He didn't obviously get any decisives, but I thought he played really, really well. Jacob Ramsey was class as well, to be fair. Gordon was like shocking in the first half, and then second half came alive, goal, assist, and it was like, wow, okay, fair play, he's arrived. Gibbs White was probably quite quiet. Angel Gomez and Curtis Jones, sort of dictated the game from the midfield. We haven't obviously got to the defense, but the issue with the England team, I would say, is they've got so much quality in those sort of front six. Emil Smith-Rowe coming off the bench, Cameron Archer coming off the bench and scoring or whatever, and obviously Ollie Skip for Gomez is probably, if I had to think about it objectively, they're probably the worries. I'd say Morgan Gibbs-White. I'm a Morgan Gibbs-White owner. I think he's at risk a little bit, even though there's nobody behind his carbon play sharp, I would say. But the issue is, can you take Israel lightly? They just battled so hard against Germany to get a 1-1 draw, 10 men. I don't know. I can't see how Madueke doesn't start personally. I think he's the only out-and-out winger in their team. You could argue Gordon's a winger, but Madueke, in terms of how he takes on players, is kind of unique in this sort of lineup, I would say. And Ghana behind him allows him to just basically have just attack, and doesn't really have to defend because Ghana's just sweeping up all the time and doing whatever. So yeah, I am a bit worried personally for Gibbs White might not start. I don't know. But yeah, I think it is a great fixture. I know Yehonatan can speak on the Israel side of things, but it's a good fixture for me for sure.
Yeah, it is a great fixture for England for sure. And I hate our manager. I think he is terrible. And the only reason we came with a point from that game is because we got a red card and he needed to stop playing 5 at the back and go to 4 at the back, with Marwan up top. But he will probably continue with his super 5 at the back. And we have some players here who already played in the Under21 World Cup. And Gloch played with the senior national team. And Roy Revivo, the guy who made the penalty, he played 90 minutes. He played 90 minutes for the senior national team. And he played all the games but the last game for the Under20 World Cup team. So he's on 1,000 minutes for only national teams in this summer. But so some players are exhausted probably. But Kartsev, who has a Sorare card, he got a red card in the 45th minute, so he won't be playing, of course. But Gloch, he should be fine. He came off injured, but it is probably just a little thing on his hamstring. He should be okay. And then we have Turgeman, who is massive. Germany had a center back who is 196 centimeters tall, and he won every duel against him. And he also he scored a goal, and he just threw the center back it was crazy. But I don't expect us to win, and a draw here would be massive for Israel.
I think Jacob Ramsey, one of the best players that I've seen in this team. Madueke, of course, like you said, Harry, is frighteningly good at this level. He looks like a man amongst boys. Hard to drop him from the team. Good comment as well. It said something similar about Ramsey, man of the match, kind of effort from him. And Chris Alexander, I'm not too sure if he's confused. Michael Olise is in the French team, not the English team. So that's why he's not starting for England. And we've not seen the France team yet. So that's why I'm assuming that. Unless you're travelling through time and you're in the stream in the future before we get to the France team. But I don't think England will change much. I think Israel getting the draw becomes a bit more dangerous for England. You cannot, got to get the result before you then start rotating and saving minutes. And it felt like that James Garner in that right back spot. It was like there's a lot of managers figuring out different ways of cheating at football in terms of and what they were doing with him is they were just playing him. he's like an attacking mid kind of striker guy. I thought, obviously I'm wrong, but
he's like a CDM. He's like a 6'8", to be fair.
He didn't play right back either. Like he was just coming up and he was just protecting Madueke. Madueke could do what he wanted, and that Garner wouldn't be too far away and just make sure that Madueke wasn't going to be screwing anyone over by taking on 3 men on the dribble and losing the ball or something, or hit the crossbar, whatever. So I thought that was really impressive, and I think like that kind of professional level that team has, like they'll be very hard to move, and like I think that guy Archer, looking into this tournament, Archer seemed to play every game, seemed to score all the time for them, and I think he could feel hard done to not starting. To be quite honest with you,
I think he's like the out and out 9 in their lineup, in their sort of squad, and there's not a 9 on that field there. Madueke, Gordon, White, and Ramsey. You got basically 2 8s, or an 8 to 10, and two wingers basically. So they went for a weird formation yesterday. Like Max Aarons is a right back. He plays right back for Norwich every game. So it was interesting what they did yesterday. I don't know if this is like a tactic they're going to use and use Garner as that like false fullback, and use Max Aarons as a left back who isn't really a left back. It's an interesting it's like a lopsided team basically. I don't know. I don't know if they're going to do the same thing and go without a 9 against Israel. The thing is, Israel are probably going to sit in, right? If they got 5 at the back, you probably don't really need a 9 if everyone's behind the ball. You're going to try and play through them because there might not be that many gaps. Is the issue? There's not going to be over the top balls and people running into channels. I don't really think we're going to see that against Israel. I think they're going to be very deep in a low block, and I think England are going to try and do what they did in the first game, and it's just play around that 18-yard box. Can we get some 1-2s in between the lines and kind of get shots off there? So I don't think Archer will start personally. I think they'll go with a similar outfit in terms of personnel, and try and play through Israel, not behind them, if that makes sense.
Yeah, we will definitely park the bus. And under this manager, if you get like 10 passes without losing the ball, and it is a miracle. It is a miracle, really. Like we had players, Revivo tried to go and do some press, and the manager yelled at him to come back and to only defend. And so we are not going to play with the ball a lot. So you can expect a lot of all-around score from the England players, like the German players had.
For sure. We got some clarification on the Michael Olise situation. They thought we were at France, or we were getting to France. And Rampant Stoner, what a name. Rampant Stoner. What a name. Rampant Stoner. I don't understand Twitch, mate. I'm really sorry. I will look into it, but I can't answer your question because I don't understand it. But I'll look into it. And then I think if we got one more lineup from the under-21s, is it France?
There's not many.
France,
France.
Yeah, the France.
Yeah, I don't know. France is an interesting one. Obviously got the win yesterday. The thing is, they've got so much quality. Like Enzo Lefebvre couldn't even get a look at. Like they've just got so much. Kakure's captain, so he's going to be nailed. I understand that. But they went quite defensive yesterday in Thuram and Kone. I think that's a little bit overkill. It's overkill in a game like against Norway. They're probably going to want somebody. They're probably going to need a 10 in there. In that front three, in that middle three, there's no 10. Kakure's an 8. Lefebvre didn't start, and Thuram and Kone basically all 8s. There's like 3 8s there. There's no like Cherky, there's no Lefebvre. I think we're going to see a little bit more fluidity in that sense, and this is a bit more. I think that first lineup we saw for France was a little bit more complementing to Italy. They were probably worried about Tonali. There's a lot more to worry about when you're playing against Italy compared to France, right? To Norway, sorry. So I think we're going to see a little bit more free-flowing football in that sense. A few more of the flary players. I'm not saying Turkey's going to start, but I think he has a way better chance in this game than he does against Italy. He can't defend Turkey. Like, you can't rely on him to do defensive responsibilities. You just want him to attack, right? So I think this is the type of game, if you're going to play Turkey, it's here. But does he get a nod? I don't know. Simakan comes in for Bade, who got the red card. And yeah, I don't think we're going to see too much of a change. The only change I think we'll see is either Kone or Thuram will come out, and Lafay or Cherky will come in and play the 10. Kakre will come a bit deeper. I can't see how Guri doesn't start. Kulamendo scored, and so did Barcola. So can you really not drop him, but can you really rotate him out on off merit? Probably not. At least they looked good though when he came on, and so did Cherky. So yeah, I think France will just romp this game no matter who they play. But yeah, that's kind of my take on the old French team.
And we have a question in the chat from Sven about Mamardashvili. From what I know, Mamardashvili should start, and like the goalkeeper the other goalkeeper did keep a clean sheet, but Mamardashvili is the main guy for Georgia, and there is a reason that they called him up. So he should start. Davitashvili should start, and Kvaratskhelia and Miku Matse, I think is his name, they are not in the squad. So only Mamardashvili and Davitashvili should be in the squad now.
Makes sense.
Good catch. And we have a wee bit of Gold Cup for the first time ever. So this was a pain in my bum because I've lost a goalkeeper to a bench, which is not fun. But good utility at home in Jamaica, I would say, for a lot of these cards, man. Not a usual American national team, no Pulisic's and Adams's and McKennie's. This is an MLS team, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, they've only called up MLS boys, I think, apart from Matt Turner, obviously. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what Jamaica's team's going to look like. I know like Damari Gray's just signed from, so they'll have a few Premier League boys in there, I imagine. I don't know if they go in with like full, because like they have a lot of Premier League players if they all play.
I think
like,
Mikel Antonio.
Reed, Antonio plays. Ravel Morrison. I know he's not a Premier League player, but they've got some good players. To come up against an America side that isn't the actual America side. It's basically their B team, if we're being honest.
Yeah.
Because like the first team played against Mexico and Canada in that, what was it, CONCACAF or whatever they played in last week. But yeah, it's a good team. I mean, us sort of MLS enthusiasts will know there's some good players on show here, but they're a team that haven't played together. So, what you really expect from that is going to be interesting. But yeah, everyone's at 65%, I think, because nobody really knows what's going to go on. But I'm risking Ferreira personally.
Fun looking front three.
It's interesting. Yeah, a lot of pace. Vasquez hopefully can get himself a goal maybe for the US team. But I don't know. It's an interesting one. I don't think Jamaica will be that bad at all. And I don't know if the US team will be that good is my issue. Yeah, Leon Bailey, Pinnock. There's some good players. Mickey Fugas highlighted. And then obviously the Mexico-Honduras game. This will be tasty. There's one thing this whole game. It's funny, a couple years ago, I was in Nashville and this exact fixture was on in a bar. And it was like Honduras, guys from Honduras at one side of the bar, Mexicans on the other. And yeah, the Mexicans won like 4-0. And it was just not, it wasn't nice to be a Welshman and stuck between a load of Honduras and Mexicans. But I just put it that way. But it was fun. It was fun nonetheless. I expect Mexico to win here. But Mexico, I watched them against the US. They are shocking right now as just a team. No disrespect, they are really bad, but they still should go out and beat this Honduras side for sure.
Yeah, Big Ochoa still going strong, getting the caps up. Good to see as well. Yeah.
He's still
not as strong of a Mexico team as we've definitely seen over the years. Obviously Jimenez has been okay, but beyond that, Alvarez isn't on. I didn't even know this guy. He's in an Ajax kit. I've never heard of him.
Yeah, he plays right back. He's at Ajax, to be fair.
Yeah, but just a lot of nondescript guys. Otherwise, it's quite a weak Mexico.
Yeah, it's interesting. Obviously no Hector Herrera anymore. Like a lot of their big sort of players, and who was the winger at Sevilla? What was his name? Mexican lad.
Tecatito.
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
Yeah. I think. They're losing. They've lost.
Brian Lozano is on his way to Saudi Arabia. Ooh. Oh no, Irving Lozano. Irving Lozano, an Apple guy.
Irving,
yeah. Don't say Brian.
Who said, will the Panama game count for this game week? That's a good shout. I don't know. Yehonatan, do you know if...
I think all the CONCACAF games should count. I don't know if Panama plays this game week, actually, but if they do,
Let me have a look in... So game
should
week...
be in the match. the match tab. It should show.
Yeah,
Let's see.
I'm just seeing if the US team. I can't see how they play. Yeah. Oh, so sorry. When they're saying Panama, is that Panama against the US or is that just Panama? If that makes sense, because the US play St. Kitts and Nevis the game week after. If that makes sense. Yeah. I don't know. Oh yeah, Panama Costa Rica is on Monday the 26th. Yeah, it will count.
Yeah, here we go. So Qatar, Haiti will count, Mexico, Honduras, United States, Jamaica, and El Salvador and Panama, Costa Rica. Yeah.
There it is. So, yeah, you're all good to go for Panama. But yeah, that's the under-21s out of the way. That's kind of the Gold Cup out of the way. What else do we have on the old Sharper?
We have a good game in the MLS with Nashville against, I think it is Columbus Crew. Yeah, it is a good game.
Yeah, that is tasty. Where's that to? At Columbus.
I think, at Columbus.
Nashville,
but Nashville have Zimmerman back.
Good point.
So maybe they can stop leaking goals.
Yeah, I mean, St. Louis was shocking, if I'm being honest. It was Mukhtar's show, scored a hat-trick. He was class to watch live again. Great little stadium as well. Yeah, St. Louis were barred. They didn't have a couple of their big players. Lowen wasn't playing, and obviously Klaus and whoever. But yeah, if Zimmerman is back, that does bolster the defense massively. And yeah, Mukhtar, Leal, they've got a good team, man. They dominated St. Louis big time. I was really impressed with them. But can they go away to Columbus Crew and get a result? I don't know. You got some big players playing for Columbus Crew. Obviously, Adam Morris is away, so there is an absentee there.
Why have they not called up Walker Zimmerman?
Because he was in the main squad, if that makes sense. He was in the one that played against Mexico and that. So I
think Zimmerman and Long, they switched.
Yeah, okay. And then Matt Turner is basically the only one that's like still in it. And Joe Juicy says Zimmerman had a bit of an injury as well. So yeah,
this looks like a good game for sure, man. Mukhtar versus Zelarayan, two MVPs going head to head. Strong defenses on paper,
pulled Wales' pants down a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, did they? Was he good against Wales? Yeah,
scored 100.
Oh, did he? I didn't know that. That's brilliant.
He had like 2 goals and an assist. He battered us 4-2. He was unbelievable. Yeah, I didn't need that at all, to be honest. But Chucho's been on fire. Obviously, Zelarayan, L5 of 78. Yeah, this will be a fiery game. Be really, really good.
Schaffelberg is missing from Nashville. I assume he's with the Canada squad, maybe.
Yeah. But to be fair, he didn't start in the game I went to watch. He looked actually, honestly, just a little random shout. He looked really good when he came on, though. He's
a good player. He's a good player.
Yeah, he's fast. He won the pen.
Got a decisive, I believe. He won the pen.
Yeah, he did. Won the pen for Mukhtar. He's really quick. He was a threat for sure. But yeah, Atlanta hopefully have Almada back in the side after traveling from the Argentinian setup. I watched the Atlanta-New York City game midweek where Atlanta got lucky, got a goal in literally the 95th minute to draw 2-2. Stopped New York getting their first. I don't think they've.
What was New York's problem? I didn't see the game. What were New York like?
Not shite, but not great. They scored first minute and then they scored like 60th minute and then they just let in a goal literally 95th minute to draw the game. They just can't defend it. I just feel like they really struggled defensively. They were missing a couple of players. James Sands wasn't there. I don't know. Magno didn't start. It was an interesting one. But it was against a weak Atlanta team, which I thought that would help them. And it did, but didn't help them enough, obviously. But yeah, not everyone, but most people seem to be back now. Giacomakis is back. Almada. Giacomakis was suspended, I believe.
No, he was in the Greece.
The Greek squad. No, I thought I saw a suspension. To be fair, have a look on that one. Yeah.
Oh,
like a yellow card.
Maybe
he had too many yellow cards, I believe.
Yeah.
He was away with Greece. You're right, but he did also get a suspension situation for some reason.
It's funny seeing Vanazir back, isn't it?
He scored midweek, came off the bench.
Yeah.
scored. Yeah, he looked decent, to be fair. They were 2-0 down in the first 18 minutes. Ben Bender scored 2 for Charlotte, and then they clawed it back second half. Reyes is back from suspension, so they got a couple of boys back. I still fancy Atlanta, even though the odds don't really show that. Yeah, I don't know. I think Atlanta have too much quality personally.
Good games.
Tolkien is missing for New York Red Bulls.
Good point. Yeah.
So Giacomakis hat-trick is coming.
That's an interesting one. I'm thinking about, I don't know. I'm thinking about where to play strikers and stuff like that. And I don't know. I wasn't even thinking about Giacomakis for this week. I thought internationals, he might have still been in jet lag and stuff like that. This NYC team's a bloody basket case, man.
I know. I watched Portland, like I said, midweek against Chicago, lose 2-1 at home. But they are a good outfit, Portland. Like, they're no mugs. They do play on turf, though. So obviously that's something to take into consideration. But yeah, they've got a good team. I really like Portland, but they just can't really seem to get any results. And neither can New York. I have like a couple of New York cards, and they're not doing what I'd like them to do right now. But yeah, the front three is pretty decent. Magnum didn't start midweek. Maybe he was rested. I don't know. Ledesma came in and got an assist. Did well, I thought. I don't know. It's not a great fixture, but I'm going to play the fixture just in case, because I think Portland are a little bit suspect at home. So yeah.
Fair enough.
The Parrot, Quinny, has a question for you. About Stivchenko. You both have supers of Stivchenko.
Oh, yeah. Hugely disappointing. I think he might be a small risk this week with an early sub on Wednesday. Well, I think he's... it's a tough one, eh? Well, you're DMing him, Parrot, so you're no better than me, buddy. But I think, these players, they generally play. They bring them in. I think he's only going to get better as he plays more, to be honest with you. So, I think he's probably a good play this week if he's on to start. And this guy somebody messaged me saying that this guy is the best centre-back in the team, and that might be a problem for him. Because I think this other guy, Barflow or whatever, has been playing halfway decent for a kid. But when you bring a guy like this in, you're bringing him in. We've seen it with MLS. It is squad designed by numbers. If they've signed a guy to play him, they're going to play him for, we've seen it quite famously on my channel with LA Galaxy, with guys like Kevin Cabral, and Samuel Grandsir, and Sega Koulibaly. Like, they will play them every game that they planned on playing them for when they signed them, whether they're getting the results immediately or not, in my opinion, in my experience. So I think if he's on to play, he's a good shout for it. He's a guy that can play well, and Houston have showed that defensive scores can be good for some of their players. So I would go for it, but depends on your options.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. Is there any more decent fixtures in the MLS that we haven't covered?
That's a wee bit of a Texas derby, Houston versus Austin, so that might be spicy to watch.
Yeah, that'll be spicy.
And Seattle Orlando is quite punchy as well for a fixture. Orlando have been tidy enough, I think, haven't they?
Yeah.
Or have they been rubbish? Yeah, so
they've
been all right.
Orlando have been decent, yeah. Facundo Torres back in the mould after...
Gillespie back as well.
Yeah, they got their boys back.
And Seattle being Seattle.
Gaz says will Tolkien start for the US? I'd imagine so, Gaz.
I think so, yeah.
I can't really think who else they would play left back off the top of my head. Obviously, Yedlin probably plays right back. Yeah, I don't know how Tolkien wouldn't start left back, but I don't know. Yeah,
I think so too. I think it's a short window opportunities for Tolkien, because he's clearly too good for MLS, and it doesn't feel like anyone's winning for him. I never hear him linked away ever. Yeah. So it feels like it's a short window for him.
Dodgy haircut, isn't it? I like his haircuts. I don't mind his haircuts.
Gressel's also a shout as well, of course, but I think Tolkien's definitely short window material. So a game like this is probably a good one to get him the start. Maybe Gressel, you play him in the harder matches against Mexico's and Canada's and stuff, perhaps, if you want to cross the ball. But that's just my opinion from afar, as it were. Do you want to walk us through some prize pools, Garji, once we move on from this? I'll let Harry say what he was going to say, sorry, but then we'll have a look at prize pools and entry numbers, because we're at 2:10, and then we'll probably give away some cards, and then we'll build some teams.
Yeah. So we can talk about the MLS All-Star Game Special Weekly. So we have in limited, the prize pool there is And
All-star tickets.
Yeah, it is 8 tickets like for the top places, and then you have 100 gift card for the MLS store up to 10th, and $50 gift card to 25th. Personally, I'm not entering because I can't go to a game, and they do not ship to Israel, so it is useless for me. But the prize pool in the rare division is really nice. So you have signed jersey for the top place,
wow.
VIP tickets, and again store gift card. But are you guys entering anything?
I won't be able to go.
No, yeah, it's not really. I don't really have 5 MLS cards that I would like trust, to be honest.
Yeah, I think they've only announced it like a couple of days ago, so planning a trip to the United States and not even knowing if you will win a ticket or not, it is quite hard for us Europeans.
For sure.
How many entries do we have? 173 at rare, by the way. I would fancy your chances. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, even for the gift card, like you have 1/5 of a percent up to 30.
Yeah.
$50 is not bad for the MLS store.
Go buy a shirt or a hoodie or something.
Yeah. So do you want to start with rares?
Let's have a look at the limited ones, see how they're kind of popping up, because I think you also we get mad numbers down there, but in this game week it's always good to see like how big are they actually, and how many. Yeah, we're still getting like 10,000-14,000 across those main divisions, aren't we?
Yeah,
quite a lot of entries.
10,000 in All-Star Limited. You have quite a big prize pool up to 150, like 1,500. Sorry, and if is paid out to 300. So really nice prize pool here, and only 10,000 enter, so more than 10% to win a card, which is really good in the limited division. And in Cup to 20, again, only 10,000 enter for around 750 cards, like 737 cards is really good. And it does not seem like a lot of people entered this game week. I don't know why. Maybe because we are in the summer, so not a lot of people have cards to play. But in under 23, we have the under 21 Euro, and still only 4,000 entered for 570 cards. So really good card percentage that you can win.
Mm-hmm.
And MLS Pro is probably the toughest place to win with 4,000 entrants and only 200 cards, but it should be this way, in my opinion. And if you move to rares, so you have again 10% to win in All-Star Rare with 2,800 and 280 prizes.
So it's bang on, eh?
Yeah. If to the top 100, that's not bad.
Not bad at all.
And in All-Star Pro, again, almost 10%. So really good percent to win a card reward this game week, it seems, especially for a weekend. And if rewards pay out to top 30 in All-Star Pro. Then you have the Cup divisions, and let's check under 23. So in under 23 rare, you have 800 entrants for 125 cards, which is again really good percentage. And under 23 Rare Pro, you have 300 entrances for 32 cards. So I'm really surprised by the amount of people who entered the competitions. Like we have less than 1 hour until the game week starts, and it does not seem like a lot of people entered.
Yeah, feels that way. It feels like quite thin at the rare level compared to what we've seen at limited, I would think. Yeah. And then even, I know it's not for every viewer, but even when you roll up to super rares, like the headcount and payout numbers are actually pretty decent, man. Like 270, 100 entrants. I love it when it's, around that 20% mark 100 entrants in Cap 270 Super Rare.
And 25% in under 23 Super Rare, which is really nice.
That's chunky, yeah. So, aye, interesting, man, for sure. Very, very open field this week. Lots of opportunities to be gotten. And yeah, be very interested to hear from everyone in the live chat where they're going to be competing. Are they doing anything different to normal? They're going to go after a cap rather than a main division. They're going to maybe, I'm going after under 23 Rare Pro. That's my big division of the week, just because of the cards I've got probably. Joe Ducey's telling us he's going after the MLS Special Weekly. He's only a 5-hour drive from the game, so that's easy. Here we go. And we're getting Here We Goes. Sandro Tonali to Newcastle is done. I think we've had that a few times over the last day, but it's done this time. So it's in, all done and dusted. And we've got some cards to give away, like I mentioned. So I think I mentioned on Twitter, I had to do a wee retweet just to send you all to the right place. But we're going to give away the Pablo Ruiz Limited that the patron saint of the club, of the stream, SR Monkey, donated to somebody who interacted with the broadcast that we've got on Twitter. So we're on Twitter at the moment, thanks to everyone that's watching over there and everyone that's been keeping on top of it. There's 20-odd retweets in there, so one of you guys, we're going to give that away to use the now, and we'll get that shipped out to you. So maybe you can use Pablo Ruiz this game week, because like you've seen, he hit some big scores. Picture, description, don't need to worry about any of that stuff. Must follow. Yeah, I'll put that in as well. And yeah, we will get a rocking. We'll throw this one out. And then, guys, we've got another card to give away that we'll give to the live chat. And we'll probably have to come in with a question. Well, the entries are loaded. 22 of these. Well done. Get them in. So we need to come up with some sort of pop quizzy question. If you can think of one, obviously don't tell me on air, but obviously feel free to let me know. Otherwise, I'll do my best to rock something out. But to win the Pablo Ruiz Limited, first of all, we have an error message. Congratulations, error message. You have won the Pablo Ruiz. And I'm sure this will do you the world of good in your gallery. Let's go and fix it. I think it's because I put in my name manually rather than... Right, okay, we'll just load it again. Yep. And then, yeah, it must follow me, but it's loaded itself this time. Better. All the entries are loaded. 26 entries this time. Maybe that was part of the glitch. A few of these getting in at the last minute. And here we go. The winner of the Pablo Ruiz Limited is Dylan Armstrong. Congratulations, my man. I'll get in touch with you on Twitter. Now you can tell me your Sorare club name. Congratulations, mate. Congrats. You won Pablo Ruiz. Send me back your club name pronto, buddy, and I'll ship that over to you ASAP. Got Ruiz rare. Surprised how cheap he is considering his age and scores. I think that's the Salt Lake effect, because Salt Lake are just rubbish. And it's hard to imagine that you'll get those scores to continue, but they do. So yeah, it's a guy that he's always, since MLS's bronze Sorare, Pablo Ruiz has been an option forever. And yeah, so he's definitely consistently undervalued or affordable, let's say. I'll normally like to pull a question out from like a team that's just won me something, like a serial number or a score or something. I don't have anything like that going on this week. And Harry, you're Mr. Midweek, and I've checked your gallery. You've not got anything like that going on this week. And Yehonatan, Mr. International, I've checked your gallery. You've not got anything like that going on this week either. So I'm out of ideas. That's my go-to.
I have a question, if you guys want.
Right, okay. Now, what we need to establish, first of all, is what format is the answer going to come in? Is that a big number? Is that a name? Number? Do we need a decimal point?
It should be, yeah. You need the exact number, like it would be something dot something. Yeah.
Cool. Brilliant. Let's hear it then. First one, you know the format answer. The first one that I see in the live chat will get the Christian Eriksen. So let's hear it, Yehonatan.
So there is now one player that scored 99.9 points this game week. Who was it?
So we want their name.
Yeah.
So we want the full name, first and last name?
Full name, yeah.
Full name. Right, cool.
We want the one player who scored 99.9 score on Sorare. I see it. Like,
in a minute, you can tell me the right answer. Don't tell me just yet. We'll wait for all the answers to fill into the live chat. And yeah, in a minute, you can tell me the right answer. We'll find you in the live chat, whoever was the first one out. There was one player in this game week that scored 99.9 points, We want his first name and his last name. We want his full name in the live chat. Who was that player? And we'll give it a wee minute. Harry Boy still shaking the cobwebs off.
Yeah, coffee hasn't kicked in.
So we're at 38 minutes away to the deadline, guys. And like I mentioned, the big team I was looking at throwing out this week would be an under-23 Rare Pro, I think. Because when I went to build the team, they were all under-23s. And normally, that doesn't stop me. Actually, that encourages me to play them all in All-Star. But when I seen the amount of numbers that were going into the under-23 division, I thought, you know what? Maybe I just go against this field and go kind of strong. Gabriel Vega's a question mark. The only other super rare I've got is Rodrigo Riquelme, who's a question mark. What do you think?
I like this team.
I would captain Colwell though. Don't captain Santi. I'm playing him in the same competition as you, Quinny, and I'm telling you, captain Colwell all day long. Not even, not even a question.
Fair enough.
With the way you can get AA, it just doesn't make sense to go for Santi's only going to score well here, really, if he gets a DA, and he hasn't had one for so long. Watch how many people in the chat.
Yeah, and
that's not why you captain him. Honestly.
And England is going to have 85% of the possession in that game.
He's going to make like 100 passes.
Yeah,
it's like the most obvious captain pick. I don't honestly now. If anyone says Captain Santi in the chat, just leave.
They want to sabotage your team, Quinny.
Yeah, they want to sabotage you big time, Quinny.
Okay, we'll go for it. Is Santi the best other option? It's probably the only question I had with this team.
Okay, let me have a look. Acevedo scored well midweek. I don't know if you caught that one.
Acevedo is on back-to-back 60s on AA only, but he's not a consistent starter. That's the problem. He's on to start, but he is on to start, you know.
It's a nice take a 60 there for sure. Yeah, it probably still is looking like Santi from what I'm... Yeah, it probably is Santi, isn't it? I like the will from Vega. It's just naughty if Vega starts, his team does well.
And he can do something off the bench against Norway.
He could do something off the bench. Yeah, it's not the end of the world. But
Croatia, not Norway.
That's your best setup. You need like 100 from Colwell with the captaincy, Trubin clean sheet, Santi DA, Gnotto DA, and then it's whatever Vega can do, and that kind of, that kind of just sort of sets the lineup. But it's a lovely, lovely lineup. It is really nice.
That's what I went to as well, basically. So yeah, and then I thought, why play it in All-Star? Just playing under 23 against a smaller field and go for it, kind of thing. So that's what I thought.
I like it.
That then took me on to All-Star. Like it's my second main team, if you get me. So I thought Gold and Russell both look good for it, you know. And you were talking about Vancouver not playing a full game. I kind of buy into that, maybe being a marginal gain for Vancouver. Maybe it just means Ryan Gold can pull in a 75 rather than a 62 or something. But yeah, not holding my breath on the team. Tenas is maybe still, by the way, I think he'll play, but you know, like I wouldn't put him in my priority team because there is a question mark about and just try and limit. Be your own man, Quinny. It's because I changed my captaincy. No, but I'll bow to pure pressure if I think it's just because I'm getting a lot of this. And I think Russell's a good chance to start. Fire or was good to concede. Keaton Park's put in a big score as well, by the way. I think he put in a 70 or something.
He got an assist for the Gabby. It was just a putt, like he didn't deserve the assist, if that makes sense. He literally just passed the ball out wide, and luckily, Gabby just cut in and scored. But yeah, I don't know. Keaton's an interesting one. Can we see who you can put in elsewhere there?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I've got Ladero in my capped.
Okay,
Magno and 40 capped.
The thing I saw with your capped, Talus Magno and Ledesma won't start together. It's either or with those two right now. So if you're willing to risk that, then fair enough. But I watched New York every game, and they just don't start together, unfortunately. Yeah. Ledesma started up front last game, Magno on the bench. Couple games before that, to be fair. Ledesma hasn't started for a little while. I got lucky midweek. I played Magno like I played him thinking he'd come off the bench and he started, which was great. But
Yeah.
That's the only one there. If you want to secure the cap, I would be a little bit. One of them's going to start. I just don't know which one it is. I'd probably say Magno is what I'm getting at.
I'll go Alfredo then.
Go big Alfredo. Yeah, that's probably the safer option for sure. If we want to secure the old Caparuni. But yeah, the red team's good. Have you got another banger instead of Parks is my... Like, do we Ladero? Yeah. I'd potentially go Ladero in the All-Star. Because if you're going to win something in All-Star, you need someone to bang. Parks is a cap 240 player for me personally, if that makes sense. I would swap Parks and Ladero, but that's just
opinion. But when I had Ledesma in there, I couldn't fit Parks in here. Or no,
okay,
how did it work again? Or could I? I can't remember how. But it was a bit of a finagle. I think I fancied not taking any. Shoot, I'm pressing the wrong buttons. I think I fancied not taking any risks for this team, and I thought just make sure I go get that cap in this one because I wasn't too sure on. I thought I was trying to mitigate against tennis a little bit with that, but no, I agree with you. It's much
I would just go all New York and just I would just go all New York and then hope Lades, like if anyone's going to bang, it's going to be Ladero in that sense, and you kind of want that in an all-star team if you are to prioritize. Winning a lineup, winning a card there because it's not going to be easy to win there. But that's the type of card you need in that division, in my opinion. Especially with like Gold, Russell, like they could all bang as a 3. So
would I take Amundsen at 11.5% over Sviatchenko?
Are you worried about Sviatchenko? If that makes sense?
No, it's an option I now have because I don't have Amundsen. I've put Chano in because I've seen Chanot's on play now.
Yeah, that's
Chanot will play.
Yeah, I didn't have him. I wasn't sure what he was going to do, so I've put him in the cap, and then I've got the choice of Sviatchenko or Amundsen here.
And Amundsen's at home to Nashville. We're saying, yeah.
Yeah.
Is he nailed?
Yeah, nailed to play.
Because Austin are decent at home, man. I do worry about Sviatchenko's capabilities of keeping a clean sheet. Not to say Nashville away, Nashville at home's an easy fixture, but it's better than going away to Austin for me as a defender. So I would probably go at Amundsen, but that's just, I don't own the cards. It's hard for me to really have a good gauge of it, but that just seems the way I would go.
I'm just thinking actually if I want to. Maybe throw
like Chanot's probably the best.
The All-Star play.
Yeah, I think that would probably make more sense. Amundsen maybe in here if you can fit him. Sviatchenko. It doesn't, either or.
Who's going to concede 3? Houston? Probably not. Crew? Maybe.
Yeah. I would no, I don't think Crew's conceding 3. I'd put my life savings on that.
Against Nashville?
Yeah.
Mukhtar, Chucho.
I mean, Chucho's playing for his team.
Yeah, no, well, sorry, Mukhtar.
I know.
Mukhtar
Mukhtar is capable, but I don't. I'd be shocked if they concede 3 personally. Where I think Houston could concede like 5.
Yeah.
Austin had a really good win midweek as well. They scored a couple at home. I do worry about that a little bit.
Yeah, okay. Let's go Amundsen.
Chanot in All-Star rare. That would be
Chanot's got a bigger AA game going for him.
Yeah.
And
Joe says don't think either concede 3. Yeah, I probably agree with that, Joe, to be honest. But I think Houston have the biggest chance of conceding 3 personally. Just judging that Austin game doesn't seem like, and it's a derby. You just never know, man. You just never know.
Right, fair enough. I'll take that wee training team up. Okay, cool. So I feel quite good about that wee last minute kind of shuffle. Under 23, I say the Gabri Vega's just a question mark of a problem. That 240 team feels a bit tighter now. All-Star Rare feels a bit stronger. And I had a wee throwaway team, 220. So I think Manu Sanchez plays, but I'm not going to hold my breath on it. I actually may have a better defense option now.
Maybe Gray.
I could play Gray for sure.
I don't think Sanchez starts. I think he will start the 3rd game if they win.
I don't know. I don't know. But I think I'd take somebody safe. I could even throw Sviatchenko in here. couldn't I?
Yeah, that's a good shout.
Yeah.
It
Zinchenko
fits
can
the
come in
cap
here.
perfectly as well. 220 on the dot, Quinny.
Acevedo works. Everaldo works. Isaka is going to be on the bench. I've seen that now in the predicted 11s today. So would I maybe drop Isaka for like a Justin Hack? No, he's 1 point too many.
Oh,
Yeah, he's 1
okay.
point too many.
Hack's been good recently as well.
What does Hack scores like? So I can maybe swap him with somebody
He
else,
plays
like,
centre half. See, it's an issue. So he's a midfield, obviously playing centre half, but he scores okay. Like he's not going to get you a decisive, but you know, could play little Richie in there.
I could play little Richie in there.
I'd probably go little Richie just in case.
Palaversa play? No, he didn't. What's Hebert up to these days? No, he's still off the bench, isn't it? Yeah, we Richie Ledesma could be a decent play there, couldn't he? Rather than a Hack or something. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, and then Everaldo. Limited Barraza. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I'm quite happy with that. So I've got like 4 teams going out that I'm quite chuffed with and I feel pretty good about. And let me just fix this training effort, sorry. Last spot. Who's going to get the last spot in the training bus? Let's give it to... we're not going to play Raquelme this week, but we'll get him in. XP him up. There we go. That's beautiful. Awesome. Now, Yehonatan, before I went off into that little tangent, you had a question for the live chat. Who was the answer?
Leandro Barrero from Luxembourg.
Leandro
Harry sold him before the international break and he scored 99.9 points.
And Joe Ducey is the winner. Congratulations, Joe Ducey. Joe Ducey wins good giveaways. Well done, mate. Christian Eriksen's a great card to win. Thanks a lot for interacting with the content, mate. It means the world to us. And we'll get Christian Eriksen sent off to you now. Joe Ducey, that's on its way to you. Congratulations, mate. Thanks for entering and getting involved. And let me see my Twitter DM. Have I heard back from my other winner? Yeah, there we go. Club name, got it. Awesome. Oh, I think he sent me a trade, he said as well. So let me just go and check. And then, guys, I'll throw you one of you guys' screen. We'll see. There we go. I cannot. Oh, no, I want to accept it anyway. And let me just see. What did that guy say his name was? Yeah, that's it. Accept. Congratulations, mate. See, accepting an offer like that. See, also I'm giving him it for nothing. It is really hard, actually. Like, so congratulations, Aussie. You've got your card as well. Thanks again to SR Monkey. Make sure you give him a follow on Twitter. Thanks for supporting the content, mate. Couldn't do it without you. Best to you and yours, mate. Absolute hero. And then, yeah, who wants to build a team? Who we got next up? Yehonatan or Harry?
I don't mind at all. To be fair, this is the first week in a while that I kind of have my lineup basically done, barring a couple of changes. Let me just set this little capsule for you, and we can just overview them. But I'm not having to, do too much rejigging this week, to be honest. Rare Pro, I'm trusting the New York boys, probably at my detriment, to be honest. But I've got the Netherlands defensive stack, the New York boys, hopefully attacking stack, and then Mabika, who's just been kind of fixture proof recently with his scores, even though they have a tough game against the Revs, but he showed midweek they lost 3-0 away to Cincy, and he still scored like 26 A or something. So I was happy with that. The guy just doesn't lose duels. He's like 7'9". He's just a beast. So yeah, threw it. Yeah, literally threw him in there. Under 23 Rare is interesting. Good, decent goalkeeper fixture. Got the Rare Mabika in here. I'm risking it a little bit, I feel like, with Gibbs White, but you know what? I'm just going to do it. Ferreira is kind of a risk as well, but all my forwards are kind of risky this week in terms of are they going to play, are they not? And then we've just thrown Diego Luna in, who got a goal midweek. I think he's going to start again, but Savarino's back in the fold, so it's an interesting one. But I don't really prioritize under 23 Rare. Cap 240 Rare brought in this Barto Francic, who plays centre-back for Croatia under 21s, and he has an L15 of 0, which is just brilliant. So he fits in there nicely because my goalkeeper's like too good, basically, for Cat. I've got Kuroki up front for the same team as my goalkeeper, Nishikawa. I brought Reyes in. I did a little swap with one of the bots for like £10 and Chris Mepham. Brought in Reyes as my defender. because I don't want to. I'm playing Super Rare Campbell in cap 240 Super Rare, and I don't want to risk it with a rare as well. And then we're going with Chenier for Montreal as my extra. So hoping we can win the cap there. And then I've actually got a decent 220 team for once. I've got Brady in there, who's probably going to concede 5. I'm risking Guillemon because why not? It's either him or Campbell, and I don't care about this team if I'm being honest. It is what it is. And yeah, if Cherky plays, great. If he doesn't, he doesn't. And obviously we've got a little wee Richie in there as well, copying Quinny's.
I've copied you.
And I've got a cap 240 Super Rare team who I have a goalkeeper as well. He's just on the market right now. But this is the team. All definitely play on paper apart from Campbell. Campbell is a bit of a risk, but I think he does get rotated in. I could play big Jorbe Vertessen, who probably comes off the bench for Belgium against Georgia, but I don't know if it's worth it. And I could play Frankie Amaya Super, who played midweek, started, got hooked half time. So it's basically Amaya or Campbell for that extra spot. And I think Campbell has the better chance of doing something for me. So that's kind of my 5 teams. I've never really had 5 complete teams, if that makes sense, going into a game week. So it's exciting for me, I guess, in that sense. And then I need to do my academy lineups, obviously. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at.
Joe says,
maybe
4 teams for Harry.
Well, 4.5 if you want to count the rare pros.
Yeah,
the rare pro, the cap 220. Sorry, because the super rare teams, pretty good to go. But I do have a Friday player playing. I have Brian Aguirre playing tonight. So Friday Curse is probably going to come after me in some way.
He has a good matchup.
He does, but it's away from home and blah, blah, blah. But yeah, it is a good matchup. You're right. It is decent. Yeah, so that's kind of my game week.
Let's see yours, Jonathan. Let's see what you're packing this week.
So I'm running a nice under-23 team with Mamardashvili against Belgium, Koga. Like, I can play a different player here, but I think Kashiwa can do something here. I don't really have good options except of Maher, who I want to play with my Willis. Baturina and Davitashvili and then Gravenberg. I'm not sure if I want to captain Davitashvili or Gravenberg or Baturina. Need to decide here.
Yeah, that's tough.
But like Georgia at home, Davitashvili is the captain from what I've seen. He's a good player. I'd
go Baturina. Get Baturina in there.
Yeah.
Baturina?
I know it. Yeah, the guy got crazy AA in the last game. Obviously,
yeah, he's really good.
His AA is just like a joke. Like you've just got to captain him. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we will captain Baturina.
And like Davitashvili, obviously striker, he probably only gets a good score if he scores, if we're being honest, where Baturina could get a good score if he doesn't score, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and Gravenberg also got some nice AA.
Yeah.
Maybe
who are they playing? Who are Netherlands? Yeah, that could be a shout.
They're playing
Portugal. Yeah, I wouldn't be mad at you if you captain Gravenberg, Yehonatan. So
I think I will go with Baturina because he's more decisive capable.
Yeah, good point.
So this is under 23, and then we have this in All-Star Limited. I can also play this in Champion America. But the prize pool, if prizes in All-Star, and I don't think there are a lot of great matchups.
Crazy matchups. Yeah, good point.
So I prefer this in All-Star, and so the Nashville defensive stack with Zimmerman back, Barreal and Giacomakis. Maybe I need to take Kinda out.
Kinda's not on the team.
He did not play the last match because his wife had a son, the first son, I believe, and now he should play. He was at 30%, something like that.
Okay.
I can play Juan Alano here. I have options.
Alano could be interesting.
Yeah, Alano is good.
I've watched him quite a few times for Gamba. He's a good player.
He's the main man for Gamba. That's for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Netalavi maybe. Showinagaki.
Yeah,
maybe
Rusnak.
I'm not using my Rusnak, so maybe he can be good.
Rusnak's okay. He's just very consistent, but he's not going to bang, you know?
Yeah.
Is my worry with him.
Needs a decisive, doesn't he? I think that's all AA, those scores, even the 64. Maybe an AA game. So he needs to.
Yeah, it is. I
He's
think
a
I will go
decisive.
with Alano here.
I'd probably go Alano. Yeah, it seems like the most obvious choice in terms of who can get a
And
DA.
Barreal captain against DC is good, I think.
Yeah, Barreal's just a beast. You've
When
gotta
he
get him.
scores, like he only scores bangers this year.
Yeah, he literally does.
He's insane. I love him so much. I got him
So-
like earlier this
so good.
season. He's incredible. Yeah, I like this change actually.
So he's one of these
Yeah.
guys I think we've all accidentally kind of fell in love with. You know, I won a Barrial like since they were getting wooden spoons every year, and I remember watching him and then seeing some scores. I'm like, this guy's actually like he's a really easy player to love, isn't he, Barrial?
Yeah. He's like he seems like a good kid.
Yeah. He's like Acosta's love child. Acosta just takes him under his wing and just goes, "You're coming with me, man. You got a wicked left foot. You're part of my clan."
Yeah.
You're in my crew.
You're on my
We
team in
have,
the schoolyard.
We have a SKC
promise.
stack in the MLS Pro. Raposo is
Yeah.
not that good. He should start though against LA, and Darkin has been doing really good actually.
Mhm.
Maybe I can fit Kinda here over Darkin, although I don't think Kinda would start. Like Darkin has been incredible.
Yeah, he's
the
been
past couple of
weirdly
games.
good recently.
Yeah, it's not like when he was a reward, I had no idea who he is, but he's been really, really good. So we probably stick with that.
I like that. I like the sound of that.
Academy we don't care about. So we have Champion Asia. We have Nagoya Grampus stack with Langerak, Morishita, Shoei Nagaki, and then Usami should start because the other striker, I think he is suspended, and Neta Lavi back from the national break, he should start as well. This team can be really good. Like if Nagoya keep a clean sheet, it can win a nice reward, and the prize pool is not that bad. Like 560 rewards, we have 3,800 entrants. That's not bad at all. Then we have Gloch in Cap to 20. I don't think he will play 90 minutes. I don't really believe in Israel against England, at least not attackingly.
Just a bit of luck after, just a wee
Yeah.
bit of fortune.
So some of the Gamba Osaka players, Mawa Soya from Kashiwa Race. So this team can do something, but I don't want to play Gloch in under 23, which is painful to say, but that's what we will do. Then we can, in Cap to 40, maybe we can put Kinda here. Like we have Macintosh, Kurokawa, then we have Ideguchi, who is now starting. Quinny, you probably like that.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he started the last two games. Now he plays against Vissel Kobe, which is not that good, but like he's a good player for the J League.
Yeah.
Then we have Russell, and maybe you can put Kinda here, like for Kinda and Russell together. They're both questionable in Cap to 40. I think that can be fun.
Sure.
And yeah, I don't think I have anything else. This, by the way,
Solid
the
teams.
MLS amateur team is not bad. Like Almada, Giacomakis.
It's legitimate. Oh yeah, a little Nashville stack, Atlanta
Yeah.
stack. Yeah.
Some
Another
good
man.
percent. But the big hopes is with this under 23. And this Gravenberg card is the best card I have in my gallery. By like
Such a
how
nice
it
card.
looks, yeah. The golden break card look amazing.
Yeah, they're brilliant, aren't they? Big
Oh
fan of
yeah, I
that.
think they're on about that Savio. It's the one that plays for Racel. I don't know if I've missed that,
Is it?
but yeah, you know, the Brazilian lad.
Yeah,
He's decent.
I think all the
Not bad.
Fabios are Brazilian lads.
Yeah, it's hard not to be. You're either Brazilian or Welsh, I think.
Love that. I think he's tied to that Savio. I only really know him because Nellis got a super rare donkeys ago, and it was a bit of a meme
Yeah.
card until he started scoring big. But yeah,
he was one of my first rares I ever bought, Savio, back in the day, like round Gary V boom. He was one of my first. Yeah,
Do you know
he's
what?
been at Racel for a couple of years now.
Do you know what I was looking at on that kind of vein as well? Is one of my first cards is now at Kawasaki. His name's Ominami. Some of you might know him, some of you might not, right? But I had this guy's like number 2 of like OG card. And I was at like a £2 card, and he was useful for me. He's always like been good. But Raysol, as we know, have plummeted over the last 2 years. He played centre mid, he played right back, he played right mid, played everywhere. But he's at Kawasaki, and he's doing all right, man. And I kind of, I normally like old cards, but see when I see this wee guy in his Kawasaki kit, I think good on you, son. Good on you. You know what I mean? Yeah, you've kicked on in your career. You've dragged through, and I kind of want a wee Ominami Kawasaki card. I don't know. I feel good for the lad that he's went and done it. But one thing I noticed, and I'll like to get your opinion on this. It's a wee bit of a left field one to end the stream on, right? Yeah. But price of the rares actually has gone a bit cheaper than I thought they were. But for a Kawasaki defender who is dropping this in his first like month at the team or whatever, for 30 quid, I think is pretty good bang for buck. But what really caught my attention was the price of the super. I thought, Kawasaki defender, nailed on starter.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, Kawasaki haven't been that incredible. I know they're a good team in general, but like they haven't been that good this season.
Sure.
I don't know whether that plays into anything, but yeah, that probably explains the price. But if you're willing to take a little risk, then yeah, I'm not against it.
Probably not going to go and get the super rare of them, but I just thought price-wise it was quite eye-catching. And I know you're saying they've obviously not been their Bayern-esque self, but they definitely win more games than they lose.
Oh, for sure.
No one puts 3 goals past them,
No.
So I don't know. I just found it quite an interesting one. I like the wee guy, so I'm a wee bit biased on him, and I forgot he transferred there, but I seen that the other day, and I thought it's probably one of the first times when I think I would like to get a new card of him rather than the one I had, if that makes sense. So, nice looking card as well.
It is a nice looking card for sure. Very nice. Yeah, no, it is. It is a nice card. Yeah. What's this? When Bendik being an L15 of 0, do I prioritize 240 over All-Star with my Philly stack? Ooh. Philly have a great matchup though as well. Yeah, that's a tough one. That is. I mean, it depends how desperate you are for $50 in that sense. Like, can you offset that and go for gold and go for All Star and think that that's gonna reap rewards for you? I don't know. It's a tough one. It kind of depends on what you want. Yeah, Juju said personally, I would. Worst comes to worst, you get 50. But yeah, that's probably the best way to look at it. As what Joe said there. Yeah, I can't really disagree with that.
Yeah, I'm all about that as well. Maximize every edge you can get your hands on to the best of your ability, because you don't get these opportunities every game week, where something, or you've got a feeling about something, or you've got a guy that's L15-0. So whenever you get these wee opportunities, man, maximize them.
Take them, yeah. Take them for sure. Yeah.
And you can win nice rewards in a cup as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, good point. It is a good point. But yeah, I feel like we're there, Quinny, aren't we? We're 10 minutes away from the deadline. I think we've done well to get to this point, to be honest. Just in terms of there wasn't that much going on this weekend in terms of matchups and stuff, and it just amazes me how we end up getting through like a full European weekend, and we're talking about matchups for basically 2 hours, it feels like, and then we end up and we're still able to kind of get through 2 hours and on like a really short week like this weekend is. So yeah. What's that? Yorali says, would you play Mukhtar over Sanchez in an LFC stack? Yeah, you've got to play Mukhtar. He's an anomaly in that sense. Like, you kind of he just plays.
He's insane.
You can't not. Like, obviously, I got lucky enough to watch him play last week in real life. But he's just a joke. Like, he's just way too good. Like, it's just embarrassing, even for his own teammates. Like, all they do is just give him the ball, and they're just like, just run the show for us, just make things happen, and everything goes through them. No disrespect, like, Nashville team is decent. Like, they do have a few very good football players, but he's so good, he just stands out like a sore thumb. And you should never contemplate playing Mukhtar, I don't think, right now in the MLS. No matter what the matchup is, home, away, on Mars, Jupiter, he plays. He just plays.
He's fixture proof.
He's so fixture proof. It's insane. And he takes everything. Like, Nashville don't have another like technical player in that sense. So like you don't really need to worry about any free kicks coming off him or one side of the corners coming off him. Like, he literally seems to take everything. I do like Randall Leal though. He is a good player. Just as a side note.
Yeah,
but
he's good.
Yeah, I don't know. Other than that, they don't. Lovett's got a decent left foot as a left back, but I don't think he gets involved too much in.
They have a new stadium, don't they?
They do. Yeah, that was the first time I'd been to that stadium. It's really nice. Really nice. I've been to watch them play at the Titans ground, which is the NFL, American football stadium, and it's just too big. They don't fill it out. It just doesn't make sense. But they play at much smaller ground. It's like 25,000 maybe. Really cute and compact, but just it was actually a really good atmosphere, really good night, and they really did dominate. They dominated St. Louis. It was funny. I was with Jimmer, who's a big St. Louis FC fan, and he hedged his bets and bet against his team. Because you can't lose then, can you? You lose the game and you win money, or you lose, win the game and you lose money, and who cares about money type of thing. It's clever. I would have done the same. Nashville at home to St. Louis. You're printing money.
So you are saying Quinny should bet for Rangers when they play Celtic?
Oh,
that bet's never going to come in, but I still could never. Even if it was like Celtic against Real Madrid, I still could never bet on Real Madrid. I would never do it, if you know what I mean. I just could never.
The thing is, you have inside info. Like, Lowen's not playing. Klaus isn't playing for your team. Why wouldn't you just print some money? Like, if it's there for you, I just don't. I'm of that opinion personally.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if I could do it.
Joe Juicy saying he's going to see Cincinnati with Trippin. That'll be fun.
Oh, beautiful.
That'll be class.
That'll be great fun, man.
I've got to experience a few games with Trippin, and he's good time, to say the least.
Yeah, I'm glad looking for food is on my side for that one. It's just I just couldn't do it. I just doesn't matter say if it's Celtic, Real Madrid, Celtic, Barca. I just couldn't ever. I just wouldn't put the bet on. I'm not touching it.
I know what you mean. Like, supporting a European team as a European is different to supporting an American team as an American. I'm sorry, but there is just a difference. I mean, you should have seen Have you seen what Bale came out and said? Like, playing.
I think that's called the Ivan Toney defense. It's different for us. It's different for me.
He'd do well in the MLS, Ivan Toney. He'd do really well. But like, I don't know. I thought it was really interesting. Bale did an interview just before the Champions League final, and like he was saying, like, the MLS, just the mentality is so different. You lose a game at Real Madrid and the world's ending. Meteors are coming down at Spain. It's just crazy, right? But he said you lose a game at LAFC, no one really cares. But if you win a game at LAFC, it's like they've won the whole thing. He said it was incredible. So it was just funny how they took losing and took winning differently. And then he also said, like, in terms of like, don't underestimate how hard it is going away and playing in Texas. He said you need an oxygen mask. And this is Bale. Like, this is no like scrub. I know he's like coming in later years, whatever, but like, he's a finely tuned athlete, if we're being honest, over the last 10 years.
He's at the top of sports science, that guy.
And like, in terms of like genetics as well, like, he's a freak, like an actual freak of nature in terms of physicality. And he's even saying playing away at Houston or whoever is like tough. So it was just interesting just to hear it from him, and how he had his time out here. But apparently they wanted to keep him. Like, Will Ferrell's involved, isn't he, or something in LAFC? And like he said, he wanted Bale to stay and whatever. But he's too busy getting his handicap down, isn't he? I think.
Aye, he'll be getting signed by the Saudis, but to play golf.
That's class.
Guys, it's been an absolute pleasure. Another thoroughly good fun deadline stream I've had. Yehonatan, it's been an absolute pleasure having you in.
Thanks for having me, guys. It was a pleasure.
And Harry boy, good seeing you as ever, my man.
Yeah, and you. Same old, but we're chugging along, and it's been fun.
I think there's lots of strong teams, even between the three of us, and a lot of the teams that have been coming out from the live chat. seems like there's going to be some winners coming out of this game week from everyone who's here. So if you've joined us live or after we've been live, fist bumped and good luck to you this game week. I'm away to Celtic Park to meet the new Celtic manager, the new old Celtic manager, depending on how you want to call it. So wish me luck for that.
Amazing. Yeah,
there's no football for us to watch tonight, Harry, but we'll maybe try and get together Sunday.
Yeah, potentially. Yeah. So there's under-21 games tomorrow at 5 p.m. UK time. There's also games on Sunday as well. But yeah, no games tonight apart from some Argentinian games. But yeah, hopefully we can get together maybe over the weekend and just get with it.
No Friday chaos.
No Friday chaos.
There's no Friday curse, but there is if Brian Aguirre doesn't score me a decisive. So we'll see.
Take care, everybody.
All the best, lads.